made handcuffs for you. Oh, let me see that. I'm so rooting for him. Oh. Oh. Yeah. What time is it? It's 1:05. Oh my gosh. That's freaking 6 hours. All right. Yo. Chill. Hold on, y'all. Hey, it just started raining, y'all. And wind is kicking up. It was 70 degrees today in January. I thought it was May. But anyway, yeah, this episode is titled oops. He Always Wins, I believe. That's what it's called. And this episode centered around pause, which I found out means peace in Spanish. And that's pretty beautiful. So this episode was 59 minutes, and I would have to say this was probably the most boringest episode I've seen of Power thus far, except for like the last 3 minutes. Oh my gosh. So it went through Paz's vantage point. It showed when she went to Jamie, she was wearing a wire because she was trying to trap him to find out who killed Angela. And so of course he didn't give himself up, and that's when Ramona was, coming around the corner. This episode was so draining and tiring. She went to Warner. She's still trying to get her benefits from Angela, but she wanted to get James, thrown in jail for her murder, basically. So she had them exhume her body, which had the phone that Paz put in there near her feet. And the technician didn't get anything off of the phone, just some yes and no texts and no questions. So that was a dead end. So Warner said, well, sorry, you're going to lose her benefits. So her son couldn't go back to school. Her dad couldn't go back in the nursing home. And her dad had dementia. Just dementia on borderline Alzheimer's, really bad. So he didn't remember who Paz. He thought Paz was Angela. While Paz was on the little thing trying to trick Jamie wearing the wire, she had got like a bunch of phone calls from her son. Her son was trying to, be with the granddad, and, he wouldn't take the pills and stuff, and threw the pills on the floor. And so he ended up being in the hospital because he had an anxiety attack, and Paz thought he had a heart attack. And she said, why did Poppy have an anxiety attack? And her son said, because I told him Angelita was dead. I think that's how he said it. And she said, why would you do that? He said, I'm not a nurse. I'm not qualified to take care of him. And I'm skipping around, y'all, because in the beginning it opened up with her rushing into the hospital and nobody was there. And that was when Angela was murdered. And she saw Jamie there covered in blood, and he told her Angela was dead and she was fighting them, and then she woke up because she was dreaming. So I guess, that's how it started. She wanted to get to the bottom of it. She went to the club. It was the Club Truth, and it was packed, and she was going to kill Jamie, but people kept getting in the way, and she kept remembering how, Tasha said it was Angela who was in love with Jamie. basically, and Tommy, it was Angela, it was all Angela. So Jamie didn't make her do anything, basically. So she just walked out the club. And so she got home and she talked to her dad. And I think he was still in the hospital. I'm not sure. And he's like was talking like he was lucid, and said, "Pause, it's you." He said, "Do you know where your name come from?" And he said, "We wanted peace. We tried and tried to have you, and then we had you, and all we wanted was our family." And she apologized to him. She said, I couldn't do it. I couldn't kill him. I couldn't kill him." Backing on up from that, her son was going to kill him. He was on his way to kill Jamie. And she stopped him. And she said, "I'm going to do it." And that's when she went to the club and she couldn't do it. She's like, "I don't want you. Only thing I want you to do is go home." They had a scene with her and Tasha, like towards the beginning, where Tasha was just saying he always wins. They couldn't set him up or nothing, basically. She had went to Tommy's house to try to give him this wad of cash to kill Jamie. And he said, "No, I can't do it." And she says, "I want you to kill the man who's responsible for killing my sister." He said, "I can't do it." And so towards the end, she had, before she was going to try to kill him, or either after, I'm not sure, she ended up in the bathroom at the club and Ramona was in there, and she said, introduced herself, "My name is Ramona Garrity, and I'm sorry about your sister." And she's just like, "What do you guys see in him? And why are you guys so in love with him?" And she just says, "I see a side of Jamie, nobody else sees." And she's just like, "I just don't get it." And then Ramona was like, "Some people are just unstoppable." And so towards Blanca Rodriguez, the one that's closed mouth Chunky Hill, like Alexander Rogers on YouTube says, she's like, "Yeah, we don't have anything against them, And she ended up in her office later, towards the end of the episode. And Spanky was in there, which I think he looks like a cross between Martin and Ludacris. He was in there, I guess, getting his deal signed because he snitched or whatever. And they just showed him for like 2 seconds. And Blanca was like, "We can't get you no money. We had a shake up here this morning." And that was the man who was, I guess he was in a political arena. I forgot who he was, y'all, but he was he was in charge of, I guess he was able sorry y'all. He was able to fire Jack Warner, I believe, the bigwig in the FBI office. So he got fired. They removed his name off of the door and everything. And I was like, wow. So she said, "We had a shake up here this morning and it looks like you're not going to be able to get any of her benefits back." And then before that, she did talk to Warner about getting her sister's body back in the ground. She said, "My sister needs to be at peace." So her and S.6 was there. They had on their black. They was dressed up. She threw a rose on the casket and they lowered it down. And then at the end, her and her son went to this office. And I didn't know what kind of office it was. And Lorette, the Jamie Ghost's running mate, she was there. And Turned out Elvin was Jamie's lawyer. And I was like, oh, it's so nice to see Elvin, from the Cosby Show, back working again. That's wonderful. Especially after that lady tried to do wrong by him by taking that picture of him having an honest living working at Trader Joe's. I'm like, she just turned all that against herself because he's acting now, and it's wonderful. So he told Paz that, well, first she interrupted. She said, I don't want any money that Jamie left my sister. And he said, no, he updated the will right after your sister died, and he left this to you. And so they show her walking out, and Tasha was walking in, and she said, let me guess, he left Angela money. And she said, no, he left it to me. She said, but I'm not taking it. So Tasha's like, you should take the money. So, and then she's like, no, I don't need his charity. She walks away. Tasha walks behind her, push her in this empty office. And she's like, you need to take the money because he loved Angela more than he even loved me. And she ended up telling Paz that Tommy was the one that killed Angela. And she just was shaking all over, tears in her eyes. And Tasha told her, I want you to take the money. So they show her leaving the office. And so we don't know if she took the money or not. So her leaving the office because she was so upset. She her son was there with her, and he said, am I going to be able to go back to school? And she said, yeah. So I'm assuming she took the money. I don't know. But she went, she had her gun, she banging on Tommy's door again. I was like, I know his neighbors are like, we tired of Tommy. And the door was open. And she went in there, and she's like, found out it was empty. He was out, and she was just screaming, Tommy! So then it went off. So next week, y'all, I forgot that quick about next week. Oh no. This was just, I don't know, y'all. This was just like so long, and it feels like it was a filler episode in a way. Like it feel like this episode wasn't even necessary, like at all. I mean, just like the last 3 minutes was the best part. Like I wanted this thing was about to put me to sleep. You can see my eyes right now. I'm glad I didn't wait until Sunday night to see it. Yeah, this was really kind of dry in my opinion. Yeah. I'm trying to see y'all what next week is gonna be, because I can't believe I forgot that quick. I cannot believe I forgot that quick. It looked like it was gonna be good though, I think. Let me see, y'all. Oh, so this is going into Benny's story. What's the name, cousin? The one that we all liked. Oh God. Y'all, I can't remember nobody's name. Joey. Proctor's cousin. Right. So this is going to be about Benny and the white lady that looks like a Barbie doll. I do not know her name. She's like one of those Barbie dolls from the 50s. And that's a good thing, y'all. I'm not talking about her. That's how I never knew her name, but I don't know if she was Benny's woman or Benny's relative. So next week should be pretty interesting because they're going to have, I think that guy's name is Vinny. So yeah, That's gonna be a good one because they showed Benny, I guess Tommy dragging Benny off in a trail of blood. So yeah, that should be an interesting one, y'all. There's 3 more left. I cannot wait till this is over. I didn't never thought I would say that about Power because Power is my show. And I guess that's how the people that watch Game of Thrones felt because they said that the last episode was just terrible. And I never got into watching that one, but I hope they come up with a good ending, even though, supposedly they're supposed to have a spinoff. That's what I heard. So, if you guys saw this episode, let me know what you thought. Did you think the same thing? Did you think it was dry? Because I'm about to fall asleep right now. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next week on next week's recap of Power. That will be season 6, episode 13. All right. Y'all take care.